Hi folks, welcome back to B Mills Farm. Got these guys finally out into paddock number 1. It's just a wonderful feeling to have your animals out in the sunlight and fairly green grass with little to no mud. It's just an awesome feeling. I'm sure they're enjoying the sunshine. I kind of avoided having them out here for a little while because I was worried about bloat. Luckily, the longhorn steer that was in here kind of ate all the clover up and all that stuff, so I should be in the clear for all that. There's really not much forage here. It's eaten down pretty low. I put some hay out, spread out around for them, and I've been giving them a starter feed that I started giving them when they were weaned. So I'm trying to keep their bellies full of hay and that starter feed so they don't overconsume this grass out here, which again I think is fine, but can never be too safe. Paddock number 2 over here has quite a bit of forage. You can kind of see there the fence line that's lower on this side than that side. There's quite a bit of forage over there, but I'm gonna wait till we really get some good heavy frost and maybe even a little snow on the ground before I get those guys out there. I at least want the ground to be frozen. I know there is a lot of clover out there, and I would like it all to be pretty much dead by the time they get out there. It's a beautiful sunny day out there, but unfortunately we gotta spend it under a roof. My goal is to get this second pen done. I have, as you guys saw in the intro, I do have the 2 biggest pigs separated into this pen. So I am just giving them all the feed they can get. I'm keeping their feed bowl full, and it'll kind of be a race to the finish to see who's bigger by December 19th, 18th really. And whoever's bigger is getting on the trailer. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to deal with the clicking on this video again. I will probably just cut the noise out, put in some music, and fast forward it. right, so if you're like me and when you started farming, you watched all the YouTube videos of Joel Salatin, Greg Judy, all these high-end people in this industry, then you've heard them say, probably have heard them say, don't do anything permanent. Don't do any permanent fencing. Don't do any permanent structures. Don't do that for a year or two. Because what's going to happen is you're going to figure out how you want things to work, flows, how to work different animals, different places. And chances are, if you're inexperienced, you're going to get it wrong. And you're going to set everything up, put all this time and money into getting things set up, and then it's not going to be how you want it once you actually learn what you're doing. That was me. I did not listen. I heard him say it and I didn't listen. But for the most part, we're in pretty good shape. But if you are going to build something, build it with screws. It's a very simple thing, but I promise you, build it with screws, because all this wood has been used for something else. And luckily, I built it all with screws so that, one, I could reuse the screws, and two, I could reuse the wood. Just a tip. All right, well, I made some headway. Unfortunately, I need some hinges and a latch to finish the door. So I gotta go to the store and get some. But anyways, made some good progress. My goal is to get the rest of the non-IPPs into this for the time being so that I can work on the first pen, get that done, and then figure out a plan how I want to arrange all of them. But it's nice to be able to get them locked up, separate and locked up, so that I can work around an area without being harassed by animals. What else was I gonna cover? Oh, so I've been taking some rough weight measurements, making sure my cows are staying in because I unplugged the fence charger. So I've been taking some rough measurements with a tape measure on the pigs, and I've got some unfortunate findings with the IPPs, which is what I was afraid of. So 3 of them that I weighed out of the same litter, there's 100 pounds difference in the 3 of them. So obviously that's not good. They're not converting feed efficiently. Just by the looks of them now, it looks like they are not going to get very big, because with the IPPs they have Kuni, Burke, and Duroc crossed. That's how they made the IPP. So the Kuni is a really small pig. Not really small, but you know, a couple 100 pounds or something. So it turns out that out of these litters, some of them take on more of the Kuni characteristics, some take on the bigger pig characteristics, and there's a really big inconsistency there. So like the pig that's in this crate here, not the pink one but the black one, that's an IPP. That's out of the same litter that I took weights on. So him, Pale, my boar, and a gilt are all related. And he's 100 pounds heavier than the gilt. And he's 30 pounds heavier than Pale. Now they've all been together eating the same food. So I'm a little bit worried about the business model behind IPPs. They take longer to grow. They are obviously super inconsistent in growing. And they yield a smaller animal. So I think what I'm going to do is keep Maple, the big gilt I have, the IPP. Keep Pale the boar. Feed out the rest of the IPP gilts. Feed them and send them off to process. And keep 2 of the Burke Cross pigs in the other pen way over, and breed Pale the boar to the Burke Cross gilts. So they are crossed with, I think they're Burke and Hampshire or something, but big pigs. And Pale the boar is an IPP, so he's going to be a smaller pig, 500 pounds or something. So I think that it'd be fun to test that out and see if him breeding the Burkes will make it more consistent, bring more consistency in, make a little bit bigger animal. It's still going to be smaller because there's an IPP in there, but it should be a little bit bigger animal that grows a little faster, hopefully more consistent. And I know people are going to get mad in the IPP world saying I'm corrupting the breed or whatever, but the fact is I'm not selling registered stock for breeding IPPs. I'm selling meat. So it doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm going to sell breeding animals out of these to say, here's your IPPs, go breed IPPs. It's not the deal. I am raising them for meat only. If I do sell any piglets, it'll just be feeders. I'll probably just castrate the males and only sell barrows so that there's no chance of people breeding ugly pigs unless the IPP and more Burke influence turns into something really nice, then whatever. So I think that's the plan moving forward. Unfortunately, it just doesn't make sense to keep putting feed into an animal that's not going to get very big. So that's kind of the unfortunate thing about a young breed. It's a fairly new breed, and they obviously have a lot of learning to do still, or refining still to do, because these pigs are out of registered stock. But unfortunately, registered does not mean quality. Registered just means it's purebred. Phew. The cow just went where it was not supposed to go. She got out. Fence charger's off. It's my fault. What was I saying? I don't know. I need consistent animals, so that's what I'm going to try. Thanks for all the support. Keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. I have guests for the Keep Farming podcast. So please go over to the Keep Farming podcast YouTube channel, subscribe, because I will be sitting down with a large animal vet and a dairy farmer. They happen to be married, but I will be sitting down with them, camera and audio rolling, and having a nice conversation. So go check that out. Until next time, keep farming. We'll see you later.